Hello everyone, welcome back to Bricks and Dragons. Today we are looking at some Lego Knights figures. I picked these up roughly about a year ago. We were still doing Dungeons and Dragons at the time, so I picked them up figuring that, hey, I'd probably use these as, just figures for doing our Dungeons and Dragons and the like. Let's see here. So we have a number of figures here. I got some just kind of crummy paper printed houses here. So we'll get these together. We'll see what we all have. I don't even remember exactly what they all were. And the other thing I wanted to show is, I had picked these up around the same time. I had gotten a order. We have a couple horses here. I figured that would be kind of fitting for whatever we were running into. And of course, then it kind of came out with a battle ram kind of mount, a pig mount or boar mount, and another horse, and then of course I got a bear. I think I always like having the animals. I think I had gotten an order of like a bear and some of the other animals I could use. You ever want to throw out a bear for someone to go up against when you're playing D&D. Like I said, I've started using a little bit more of the Lego minifigures for doing my role-playing games. I think it's fun. It allows the crew that I have to kind of customize their figures if there's a certain way that they want it. Hopefully I've got pieces in that, whether we want to do a cape on there or a cloak or not, that's up to the individual. It's nice and easy to be able to change out the hats or the weapons or whatever else we want to do. I know that we're finally going to get back together, and it's been a while since we've done some Fallout, and because I'm doing Fallout, I'm not really using the Lego minifigures as much right now. So you got two faces. I got kind of a regular face, and here he's kind of grumpy. Although the regular face, it's funny, he's got the goatee going. So yes, these are all custom print. I had gotten these off of Amazon. Pretty much everything I get off of Amazon. Outside of a couple choice figures I ordered elsewhere, and I don't even remember where I ordered them. But otherwise, if I can, I think I've said it before. I try not to order from too many different places, because then I kind of forget what I have for accounts and everything else, and that's more of my concerns. I guess I'm trying to figure out how I'm doing this, because we got an armor. So he's got armor, and then we have the cloak to go on. I'm guessing the cloak should probably go on after the armor. So that seems like that would make a little bit more sense here. All right. And he must be our king. With a helmet like that, I'm going to guess he's our king or he's our commanding officer. Of course, if you want, you can put the plume up there. And of course, we'll put his sword in his right hand. Yeah, and then the legs come off. So these aren't actual Lego. These are something else. And this is, I might have to glue these on if that becomes an issue. I don't really care to glue things on, but if it's an issue like this, I might have to, especially if I know I'm going to keep it together. That's a whole different thing to me. But if I can put them into the horse, but every time I go to take them off, he kind of loses his legs, that doesn't really work for me very well. So we do have that very nice crest here of the black, I don't know if you want to call it a hawk or an eagle, but either way. And I know that's one of the factions that they usually have in the Lego Knights series, and that's just not going to work on there, so I guess I'm going to leave that off. Alright, well, we got him up there. We got one extra hand. Get that out of my way. Okay, so we'll see what we have for the next gentleman. So again, oh, see now he's together even less than the last one, so I guess quality control on this one wasn't very good. Hopefully the legs stay together. Otherwise, he might become one of the. He might be one of my constant. He's got a nice smile to his face too. There he's all grumpy. Kind of thinking he might be somebody that's consistently hurt. And of course, that'd be even funnier that he's got a nice big smile. He's kind of missing a leg and like, hey, I'm still here. All right, let me get his hands on here. He's got more of just a regular knight's helmet. And we have a plume for him. If I can get it in there. Okay. And then it looks like we have a shield, which I don't think he's going to use a shield if he's got a staff. Wait a minute. Because I'm trying to figure out how I'm doing this. Does it go this way? Or do I put it more like that? And I really don't seem like I can get that up there. Doesn't really want to fit on there the greatest. So obviously, as you can tell, this isn't Lego. I mean, we already looked at the legs. This is not Lego. But these were inexpensive, so you get what you get on that. And you know, I'm not going to complain too much. I got something I can put out there. And it's not like I'm playing every day. If you're getting these for your kids or whatever, I'd say I'd probably pass, especially if the legs are a possibility that they could come off, or every time you're pulling up, if the legs come out. This one seems to sit in there pretty good. I'm pulling a little bit here, and it seems like he's doing pretty good. So maybe that's not too bad, but you know, Lego does a really good job. There's a reason why they have the legs built the way they do. They stay on there really good. When Hasbro was doing their Creo line, as of which I do have two figures here, and I'll show you theirs. So they have it so you can twist, but the problem is we only have the one stud here. So with that sitting in here, sometimes when you're trying to pull them out of a chair or something, you lose the legs. So that kind of gets to be a little bit of a crud to me. So what I was doing with some of them is I was actually gluing the legs on, so that way I knew it wouldn't happen again. I don't know if these guys will be something similar or not. With the legs being the way they are, maybe not. I don't know. We'll figure this out. Most of the time I think there'll be a standing army, and the fact that I have the new bases, I think that I should be able to play this off a little bit better. Once I get them onto a base, I think I could probably leave them onto the base. Although today I think they're going to probably end up into a bag or a cup or something, because we're not doing anything with medieval figures. So I can just kind of put them into that for now, if not for the long term. Because of course I know that we'll get back into doing some Dungeons and Dragons. I just don't know exactly when we're doing this. And the arm, or the hand, seems like it's a little on the long side, so I'm not going to press it too much. And of course, he's got the same head as the last guy, so he's got that kind of grumpy look, and he's got the goatee, and then we have the nice happy face here. I'm going to keep him with the grumpy look because he's going to have the helmet on. Oop, and I think I get the helmet. There we go. Okay, let's see if he can stand up here. There we go. So we got 3 extra hands here so far. Okay. So we'll kind of push some of our animals back, so hopefully I've got a little bit better view for you. I've been told on one of my videos that I need to kind of center where I am, and of course I think I'm up a little higher here. I'm going to adjust this a little bit here. Alright. Hopefully this works. Alright, so we got his legs on here, but unfortunately, nope, I guess they're alright. You know, looking at this, I guess you could almost go either way here. I don't know. Looking at this side, it looks like it's almost universal, like you could use this either way. This one, it kind of comes down a little bit more to a point, but we have a nice U. I don't know if it really makes too much of a difference, but we're going to go down to the point, I guess. Almost put the arm on the wrong side. And now he's got a different face on him. He's got this nice evil smirk thing, and then he's got kind of a little bit of a worried look with the goatee. And I do remember watching a video from somebody that knows a little bit more into the whole knights and all that stuff. I grew up with like the knights and all that stuff, and I remember asking my parents for a castle one time, and you know, I've said it before, my parents weren't buying me expensive stuff, so they did the best they could, and they had gotten, and at the time the knockoff for us was Tycho. So I don't know if anybody even remembers any of the Tycho Legos, but that was something at the time. And regular helmet here. So he's going to be more of a knight. I can open up, and I have to get his chest armor on. So my parents had gotten some Tycho Legos for us. And I still have some of the pieces, so every once in a while, that's not like I've pulled out the old bin of Legos in a while. Because as I've said before, I'm kind of running out of room, so I have to be kind of careful as to what I'm building right now, which kind of puts a little bit of a damper on some of the things I'm doing. So I'm trying to come up with other stories and other fun things for doing role-playing games and all that. You know, being able to build things and all that is always fun, but if you don't have the room... I knew it. Okay. Seems like that's on again. I think I might have to leave the plume off. I don't know. Nope, we're getting her. Okay. He's got the plume. So there's a knight. So if I have a knight, maybe he should be on a black horse. Seems like he's a dark knight, so... Not the Batman Dark Knight, but a Dark Knight. Okay, let's see what we got for our next one. Then we have 3 more after this. And let's see what our little army looks like here. Okay, so this is going to be our front. He's got that nice little smirk on his face, and then he's got that other kind of more worried look. So I think what we're going to do is we'll turn that around. Whoops, got to put on his armor here. He's got the shorter sword. He doesn't have the long sword. Because it really doesn't matter what face I have, because all you're going to see is the eyes. Here's an arm. So when your characters take the small arms skill, that's this. He's got small arms. Alright, got a little snap there, everything seems to be doing good. Get our plume on the top. Very proud to have their plumage. Get his sword in his right hand. Alright, and then there we are. Okay. There we are. Now we got 4 extra hands. Now we got a pikeman here. And he's all in pieces. And he's only got one face, so. Now one of the other things I've been noticing more of, so for the people that play Warhammer, I have been noticing a lot more Lego minifigures that are done up in the Warhammer the way that snapped in my ears, it almost sounded like maybe I cracked it, but I don't see a crack or anything. So for those that are playing Warhammer and that, they're doing a lot more Lego minifigures done in a Warhammer theme. So I did see the other day as I'm looking up minifigures that there were Warhammer more like regular troops, just troop minifigures instead of some of the bigger ones. But I know I've seen some of the bigger ones. I do have some other minifigures on order, more for Star Wars and that. So when I get those in, we will try and get these put together. It's always nice having a bunch of minifigures. I don't think I'm going to use his shield. Honestly, I don't know how often a pikeman would use a shield, so I'm just going to leave that be. Now we're up to 5 extra hands. I think we'll be up to 6 after this one. So we have an archer, crossbowman. Okay. And again, it looks like only the one face on here. Here's an arm. Here's an arm. See if we can get our hands in there. There's a little click. Oh, that's stiff. Okay. And we'll get our legs on. And he's got this armored cap. And then we put crossbow in the right hand. Okay. And there we are. Okay, and then here's our last one here. And we have another cape. So let's see what we got on this one. Okay, it looks like a short sword. You have the armor. Now this one has got that kind of smirk again, kind of more the worried look. We have a nice cage helmet here. Take the head off of there. Oops. And he's got a cape as well. You know, I've done Dungeons and Dragons for a long time. I spent more time doing Star Wars because it was a nice, the D6 system is a nice, easy, and forgiving system and all that. And I like the science fiction. But I've never understood what the slight difference is between a cape and a cloak. Or is it just something that we can use interchangeably, which I think is what it is? I am having a dickens of a time here. So if anyone knows the exact definition, I suppose I could look it up. But it's never been a big thing for me to sit here and say one way or the other. As my phone's trying to tell me that there's weather updates. I don't know why I'm having a dickens of a time here. Alright. So I can get that on there, but I just can't seem to keep it on there. Alright, there's that. Pull this over. And there we are. Put the head on so it stays there. And we can leave it off to the side if we want. Just make sure we get his arm on there so he can hold his sword. Okay. And with the new figures I've got coming in, like I said, they're Star Wars ones, so it's a little bit more for the droid separatists. So. Okay. There, now his head's all the way down. Get his basket helmet on. Or cage helmet, I think. Get the plumage on there. We might put him on the other horse. So, we do have the holders on both sides, so we can put the sword there as he's riding the horse. I could go there if we want, or I could just leave it down here, either way. And then his horn came off. Alright. And there we are. So we have a small little army here. Put him in the front. Put our king or whoever he is. And we'll have them in the back along with our people here. Maybe they have a trained bear to go with them. Now that'd be an interesting army, having a trained bear to go with you. I don't know if I'd really want to fight them. But all in all, it looks pretty good. I mean, we have a gentleman with a staff here. Hopefully that looks pretty good. I'm going to put this up here. And of course, then we have one short sword. If I can get them to stand. This is another good reason for like the little stands that I've made here. As I grab my pieces behind me. So like I said, I bought a whole bunch of these, so I have a nice size bag. I can just kind of throw them out here. Dump a bunch of these. So all this is, I mean, you could have this colored whatever you want, but it works pretty good being clear. And I can stand them up there. And the nice thing is I can kind of just set them down and they stand up, which is wonderful. And being a 3x3, if you're doing this for a role-playing game, this comes out to be about an inch, which I don't have a tape measure handy, but you know, going through, it is a 1-inch square. So that makes this work out really nice. And it's even funner because then if I grab the bear, although the bear looks like I could put them just on a regular base here. So I could put them on a regular base. I could have them all the way up. Oh. There. Now we got a bear kind of up here like this, like he's going to attack. Of course, if I'm doing that, I have too much weight in the front, so now I have to have them all the way in the back. So call him Barney the Bear, right? Have some fun with that. Okay. Actually, what I could do now is I think we have this up here. I can make it one line of people here and oops. Got our archer in the back, and Barney's even behind him. So, yeah. So yeah, having the bases like that really does work good. Like I said, this is just a simple 3x3, and I've bought these pieces off of Amazon. So if this is an idea that you would like to take, go for it. And you see me using it quite often when I'm doing my figures, because I do find that it works really nice. You know, I can put figures there. You know, I can kind of throw them down a little bit more, and it really does make things a lot easier for me. They're centered in there, so if I'm using this in a, you know, on a map or whatever, they're nicely centered on there. We can figure out where everything is, and we can go from that point. So, all right, well, that's what we have here today. Thank you for watching. Thanks for visiting. Hope you have a wonderful day. We'll see you in the next video.